The year was 1995. The world was abuzz with milestone events, and somewhere in the city of Madras, Tamil Nadu, India, a dream was coming to life. As business opportunities in Madras grew, so did the international business community. It soon became apparent that a school for their children was the need of the hour.
To get international direct investment here, foreign direct investment, you need water, you need power, you need a way to get around, and you need an international school.
So with our little bit of money, we rented some space in the Russian Cultural Center, which was a big deal at the time.
We started the school on a Friday. That was a little unusual, but it was suggested by a consultant from the Office of Overseas Schools. He said, if you've never done this, there's a lot of hiccups in starting a school, and if something goes wrong, you have the weekend to figure out how to fix it.
So we had one boy from Germany, 2 children from the UK, 1 girl from Belgium, about 5 Americans. So it was a mix of international people. We hired our first teacher from the United States, and this is an interesting story. She was a teacher at the Big Apple Circus. Her name was Gina Romanos.
I had run around to different schools in America, in my hometown, and asked them to donate books and school supplies, and I boxed them all up and showed up at the airport, I think, with 20 cardboard boxes.
I joined AISC in 1995, and I saw an advertisement in the local newspaper that the American school is going to come up. So I wrote to the consulate saying I'm from Malaysia and I would love to teach in an international school.
I'm Karen Pergaki, and so Miss Karen is who I went by. I was the first grade teacher from 1996 to 1999 at the Russian Cultural Center.
We were a very close community, and recess was the whole school together. The teachers would sit together, watch the children play.
Maybe about 30 kids only. I remember perhaps first grade had the biggest class. I had 12 students that first year.
Everything that we did was a first. So we got to do the first India week, we got to do the first yearbook, and it was really nice to be a part of that. It was a very small community and a very tight-knit community and very supportive.
You know, they had started it in the Russian Culture Center. We rented some office buildings shortly before I got there, and then another one after I got there. But we needed a purpose-built campus. So I developed a tagline, the American International School, helping to bring the world to Chennai. And we started shopping that to government officials. And the top levels of the civil service in Tamil Nadu understood that. They bought that argument. And they started taking me out to see plots of land.
So back then when we came in a van. I remember we all came in a van. We were all given a white helmet to wear. The floor was kind of done, but it was like not firm. It wasn't solid.
This was a swamp. So we brought in brick beds from demolition buildings and raised the property up 1 meter.
Once the building was all done and we all had to move here, to tell you the truth, it was exciting. It was bigger space, it was like you could have your own space, your own little cubicle as such, so it was exciting to set it all up.
I couldn't dreamed the building going to be like this, such a big, huge.
This is such a nice place. I'm speaking as a parent, I'm speaking as a teacher, and nice cannot be underestimated because it helps build learning. If everybody feels safe and they can take risks, then they grow.
What I love the most about AISC is probably the community as a whole. It's very inclusive, and unlike some of the other schools that I have been in, they've all been really friendly to me from the very beginning, and all the way up to this point right now.
I remember being struck by how strong a sense of family there was when I first arrived. There was a lot of support, a lot of caring.
What our vision was, what we wanted in a school, was a school that would help the children, make them better thinkers. They would be exposed to multiple diverse cultures, like a global thinking, a local melting point, Bodh Gaya sort of a thing. And AISC delivered all of that.
When I came here, I got introduced to Korean people, to Japanese people, to all different kinds of nations and how they behave and act. And this really opened me up. This got me a bit more open-minded towards other cultures.
I love that we make friends with different peoples from different countries. We get to do fun things, to know about other countries, like UN Day, Pongal, and I like the Valley Mela.
AISC have impacted my life into culturally. India is so rich into the culture where I'm coming from, and I have been learning a lot about the Indian culture, how we interact with it, and how happy the people are here.
I must say that I'm glad, because even though it's an American school, the cultural connect to both Chennai and India is very strong.
My life in Chennai has been exciting. I've learned so much, and we are learning something and we are laughing every day because we are finding so much joy right here in Chennai, Nama Chennai.
AISC is so much more than just education. AISC is about the sports, the arts, the music, and the culture of our host country too. It takes the rigor out of the whole curriculum, even if it's an AP class, we're out in the wilderness learning with biology experiments or something like that. So really builds the passion that you would have as a young individual at AISC.
One thing that I've seen change is how we have gone from the board and chalk and talk, staying at the board, to where we are now amongst the students, and letting the students learn while we just guide them.
I believe the learning environment, it's really hands-on. To discuss among our peers, we get to collaborate a lot, and we have to bring forth our ideas and bring initiative to it. And that's really a really hands-on learning rather than just listening and taking notes. And I think that's a really positive aspect about AISC.
I think that it's heading students in the right direction to reflect on their learning rather than their performance, if you will. It's sending the message that we want you to be able to be a self-directed student who can identify your areas of strength so that you can leverage them, and identify your areas of growth so that we can set a plan to help you grow in those areas. And that's a really different thing than getting a test back that says 82%. So I think it's really something for our school to be proud of.
I think that COVID-19 has really created a slingshot movement in bringing education forward. Some of the practices that education has done in the past, they don't work in the world that we're in right now. You cannot have a 3-hour lecture and expect students to pay attention the same way in a virtual world that you might have that expectation in a non-campus world. We just always try to modify and adjust and improve.
If I had to describe AISC in one word, it would probably be ever-growing, because every year we have changes, and AISC as a whole really works hard to make the best environment and to improve and grow as a whole.
I think as long as we keep the students in mind, and as long as we are responsive to our classrooms and we know the students that we're working with, I think all the things that we do will be really impactful for them.
I think Michael Kegler-Gray always emphasized what would be best for the kids. And as he said, I think the other night, having kids want to come to school and not be in a situation intimidated by a culture and some languages to go into a school where they just don't want to be there.
I think AISC will continue to be a beacon in the region for educational excellence. I think because we're a progressive school that always takes a learning stance, we will have much to offer globally and locally. I think AISC will continue to be on the cutting edge of education because I think that that's really a part of our identity.
As AISC celebrates its 25th anniversary, we look to the future with hope and positivity. AISC is and will always be a place where knowledge, creativity, compassion, and confidence are fostered in our learners.